Okay, I've been charging this battery now for 48 hours or something, and it's still not over 13.14 maximum, and I'm charging it with 2 amps in with a pulse charger, 3 transistors and 1 big coil. There's no bubbling, it's not cooking, so I don't know what's wrong. So where does the power go? There are 2 possibilities: or it's desulfating and it just takes a little longer and it will go to its original 110 amp hour, which will take several days to charge, of course. So I will let it go for another day and see what happens. Good morning. Yesterday evening until yesterday evening, after 48 hours, I was charging pulse charging, and then I changed it on a regular charger, 5 amp charger. This 5 amp charger has been on it yesterday all night. It didn't go more than 13. Yesterday evening it was 13.52. Now it is very cold, it's freezing outside, and now it's 13:49. So all night it was charging, but doesn't seem to do much. So I'm going to disconnect it now and see where the standing voltage is. I will be back in an hour or so. Right, it's now almost 2 hours later, so this will probably be standing voltage. I think it will go a little lower, but let's say 1180. That will be it. So I'm going to put the big lamp on it again and see what happens. Just put the big lamp on there. It's now going down under 11 volts and dropping, but it's at 4 amps it's taking now. So let's see where it's going. Okay, it's a little more than 15 minutes now. 15 minutes past, and it's at 10:41 and it's not dropping so fast anymore, so that's good. And it's a good 4 amps that I'm pulling, and don't forget it's about 0 degrees Celsius here. You can see my breathing, it's really cold here. Okay, I'm at half an hour now. It's just under 10 volts, but the amps are still good, still 4 amps. So I'm going to leave it on for 15 minutes or so. And, fortunately I don't have the time to let it go completely down, so but it's not too bad. Okay, it's now almost an hour, and it's at 9.5 volts, 9.5 volts, but the amps are still going strong, so still about the same amps. It's only the voltage that's going back, and it's still steadily going down. So I think this might go for another hour. Unfortunately I don't have another hour because I have to go, and I will be away for several hours, so I cannot continue this. Okay, so I'm going to, after 1 hour, I will break it up and I will charge it back up. Okay, let's just see what happens if I disconnect the lamp. What will happen with the voltage now? As you can see, it's bouncing back real good. So that means there's plenty of juice left. So you can see standing voltage is more than 11.5. Still going up. Okay, I have a better idea. I'm going to let it rebounce. It's still rebouncing, and I'm not going to charge it. I'll leave it as this, and when I come back in a few hours, I will do another half hour of discharging and see how it goes. Alright, now here we are back again. I just let it rest for a few hours. It's now 3 hours later, and it came back to 1173. 1173, so that's not too bad. So I'm going to drain it again and see what happens. Okay, so I will come back in 15 minutes or so and see what happens. Alright, 20 minutes later now. We're running 8.38 volts, but the amps, they are going down. It's 3.4 amps now, and you can see the lamp is not as bright anymore, but I'm going on anyway. See if I can completely drain it. See what happens next when I charge it again. Okay, I'm at 45 minutes plus the previous hour, of course. It's 6 volts and a little, and it's still a little under 3 amps. A little under 3 amps. That's not bad. It's still producing some light, but not as bright as for first. I think I'll leave it with that. I don't think it's much use of draining this further. Just want to do one for the experiment maybe. I've got here a few small supercapacitors. It's almost 5 farad and can go to 18 volts. But since if I put the load off, it will bounce back. It's already 10 volts and it's probably going back to 11.5 or something. That means that I can charge up the supercapacitor probably with not too much problems. You see? Alright, so I bounced back. It's now 10.7. Now I'm going to charge the supercapacitor. Now you can see it's going down immediately and up again, of course. 8 volts, almost 9 volts. So that means that I can charge this supercapacitor up to, if I want, probably 11 volts and maybe 11.5, and I can do that many times. So if I put 2 of these supercaps in series, and these supercaps, so I'll show here, let's see, putting one side on here. As you can see, the lamp's going on just on the supercapacitor, and that's why, as you know, 4 amps lamp. And this is a very small supercapacitor, and I will get some much bigger supercapacitors this week, I hope. And we can do some very interesting things with this alien lamp. What did I just say? I'm expecting some supercapacitors, and they just arrived. How great is that? Now these are 500 farad, 2.7 volts supercaps. Now we're really going to have some fun. Well, the next coming days. Okay.